Well, hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome back to Sci-Fanatics. Well, today we're talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, specifically the crossover episode between Strange New Worlds and Star Trek Lower Decks. We've managed to get hold of a very, very quick sneak peek scene from the crossover episode. Crave, the network in Canada that broadcasts Strange New Worlds, put up a little bit of a promo for Strange New Worlds featuring Boimler and Mariner from Star Trek Lower Decks in this little trailer. And they very, very quickly took it down. It wasn't up for very long. It was only up very, very briefly before the powers that be at Paramount Plus or whatever said, get that trailer down, get that scene down quickly. But we've managed to get a couple of shots from it, which we're going to have a look at today. So basically what this features is it's in the transporter room. It looks like an away team has beamed back to the Enterprise. We've got Pike and La'an on the transporter pad. Spock is in the transporter room. He's giving the Vulcan salute to the away team beaming back on board. And we've got a couple of extra members beaming back on with Pike and La'an. This flies past so quickly you'd almost miss it. It was blink and you'd miss it kind of stuff. But obviously we're able to slow-mo, to zoom in and so forth, to see in the background, as we can see here, we've got Boimler wearing his Lower Decks uniform. And over here, we've got Mariner wearing her Lower Decks uniform. Obviously, this is from our crossover episode, and this is our very first glimpse at what Boimler and Mariner were going to look like in the Strange New Worlds episode. And I got to say, they look pretty much as you would have expected them to. They haven't probably needed to change Jack Quaid or Tawny Newsom's look too much, because the actors that do the voices for these characters look vaguely similar to their animated counterparts. From what I can tell in the uniforms, they look pretty good, pretty accurate to the Lower Decks uniforms. Boimler's hair is probably not as high and exaggerated as it is in the Lower Decks series. They've probably toned that down a bit, which I think probably is a good move. I think you couldn't have Boimler's hair too purple and pointy uppy or whatever, much like Jack Quaid wore it in the cosplay outing that he went to at a convention wearing a Lower Decks style uniform. That would be just way too out there and comical. So it looks like they've maybe toned his hairstyle down a little bit, and maybe the purpleness or whatever is a little bit more subtle, which I think probably is a good creative mood. Even though we know this episode isn't going to be a serious episode in any way, it's going to be a very, very light-hearted episode that plays 100% for comedy, which will be good to see. So this is pretty cool as our little first glimpse at what the crossover episode between Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds is going to look like. It's probably one of the episodes that I'm looking forward to most, I think, in the new season of Strange New Worlds. But I think we've got a few episodes to wait, because based on my episode listing that I did a video on a couple of weeks ago, if you haven't seen that video, click up here. There's a link up here that shows that video, which goes through all the episode titles for Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2. I think it's about episode 7. We're going to be getting the crossover episode, so that'll be a good one to look out for. So guys, if you haven't heard already, I'm doing my first live stream in quite a while. It's been about a year and a half since I did my last live stream, but I put a poll out there recently, and more than half of you said, yep, we're keen to see a live stream show. So I'm getting back into that, which will be on Saturday. You can click on the link for that to see exactly when that's going to be airing in your neck of the woods. And I'll be joined by some pretty cool guests. We've got Sean and Bree from Trek Culture, who'll be joining me for a bit of a chat, and also a very good friend of mine, David, who is a long-time Trekkie, much like myself. We've been talking Star Trek for over 25 years, and we thought we'd do it on the YouTube channel this time round. So that'll be a few guests on the show for Saturday. Will be some lively discussion on all the latest Star Trek news and everything. So that'll be a cool event to make sure you bookmark that and ring the little bell and make sure you don't miss that on Saturday. Guys, as always, don't forget to subscribe to Sci-Fanatics if you haven't done so already. Click on that big subscribe button to stay current and up to date with the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. Also, my merch store, heaps of Star Trek designs and everything in there. Really good prices and everything. There's always a sale going on, so be sure to check that out as well. And I will see you guys on Saturday for the live stream. It'll be a good show. Come and check it out. I'll see you then.